Hello everyone and welcome back to No Code with NetMinds, a series to understand how to use tech even if you have no idea how to code. And today I want to focus on a question that I have been asked a lot in the last few days and weeks, and that is how do you start navigating all these no-code tools? Because what I have seen is that no-code feels similar like when you buy a new car, that before you buy that car, you think that is very exclusive. But after you buy that car, you start to see it everywhere. And that becomes a problem because, well, you see too many options. Each one is, you feel that it's hard to get started with and to master it. So for that, or let's say we go through a framework to help select those kind of tools. And today I want to show you that visual way of seeing how can you navigate all those tools and how to understand the whole landscape and select the right tool for the job that you need. So let's get started with it. So here you go. This is a framework that I have created from my own experience going through different tools. And what I have seen is that whenever you are in a specific category of tools, if you learn one, it's going to be very easy for you to learn the rest on that category. Right. So what I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna go take you through some of the steps of those no-code tools, like level by level. Let's say from creating just a static website like this one, just to showcase your product, your service, or whatever you need, up to complex apps if you want to replicate Facebook or Twitter, right? So let's say you have these 4 different levels, and we're gonna see examples with each one of those, just to showcase what you can do, right? So in this first on this first portion of the framework, what we do and what I usually like to do is to understand the real problem that I'm having, right? Do I want to showcase information? So I just need a static website. Do I don't just need to showcase the information, but I need interaction from my users, and I need them even to navigate through some information and provide some feedback. So maybe I need a dynamic website. Then we move into the part of applications. In this part, you need something that has some logics with it, right? And you need some integration or more difficult integration that you will need here on the dynamic website. And here you go a level up to this type of tools that will help you create apps from very simple templates in a short amount of time and with simple tasks, right? But then there gets a level where, well, you need to integrate with very complex tools, or you want to create your own logics that are not on those templates. So you need to go a level up to this type of tools. Okay. And then what I'm going to show you also with some examples and showing you some of these tools is you have a toolbox and then a group of specialized tools. Okay, so what you have here on this level is you have front-end tools, everything that's going to help you help your apps and your websites look a bit better, or even to interact with your users a lot better, right? So you have their design for your images and for everything that you are showcasing on your website or app. You have communication tools to interact with your users, and you have also the tools to capture data from your clients or users. So this is more for forms or stuff like that, right? But then you have also the backend tools. So everything that will help all the apps that we showed on the first part here, that is going to help you integrate them with other no-code tools or with even other tools like Outlook, Gmail, or the rest of tools that you could use. And also the most critical part, the most important part is how you handle the data, right? So you will usually need one of these tools, a database tool, to help you organize and integrate the data that you have between different no-code tools, but even everything you capture from your users and customers. And then at the end, below, you have the specialized tools. And here, what I always like to do is before I am trying to solve a problem with no code, I revise if there is a specialized tool for that. Because, for example, if I need to create a community, I may think, oh, well, I'm going to use, for example, Bubble or Glide, this one here at the top, to create that app. But why do it if I already have some example like Mighty Network or Circle that does that for you, right? They already have a tool with templates to create that community. Or for example, I need to create a chatbot or a voice bot, right? So there are already tools like that. Or the most clear example that maybe something you'll be more familiar with is the Shopify, that the Shopify solution that helps you create an e-commerce site from just template that they have. So this is the general landscape. We're gonna go through some examples in each one of those levels. Okay, let's get started with the first part, websites, right? And we're gonna see the difference between static websites and dynamic websites, okay? So the first very important differentiation that you're gonna have with all no-code tools is you're gonna have a few of them like Wix, UMSO, or Squarespace, but you're gonna have templates already made for you. And in a few minutes, you're gonna have a complete website. Something similar we're gonna see that happens on applications, right? But then when you have something that you want to be more unique and you want it to have more flexibility, so you can go to all these tools that give you more dynamism to build something on your own. But the thing is, that comes as a cost, right? So the learning curve is going to be higher, right? It's going to be a bit more difficult, and it's going to take more time to build what you want to build. But it's going to maybe look a little better, and it's going to have a better design. So we're going to see some examples. This website that you see here was built using UMSO, UMSO. And you're going to see here that it may look a little similar to other website that you have seen, right? And that's because I'm using a template, and this was built in around 10-15 minutes, right? So it's very easy to build. It looks nice. If you just need to showcase information, it's going to be amazing, right? And you can even have different pages, right, with videos embedded on them. You can have frequently asked questions and links to get everyone started with forms on it. Now with this same tool, you can build completely different websites just like this, but you're gonna see that the structure and the way they look is kind of similar, right? So now here with the exactly same tool, you see a very different website, right? So here the person that created this had to be a bit more creative to make it look different than the rest. So let's take it up a notch. Now, this one was made with Webflow. You start to see that it looks very different, and it has some really nice interactions where the website is actually moving, the words are actually starting to appear and disappear, and you can see that even the way it's arranged is a bit different than the rest, and people can even interact with categories. They can even add new records to it. So obviously this could be created using Webflow, but it will take maybe 1 or 2 days to create a website just like this. But then you can go to the higher level on websites. So you can see here a very nice website, and this is created by FinSuite. It's one of the best designers on Webflow that are out there. And you can see that the interactions are really amazing. This is all made just using Webflow and putting some JavaScripts on it, right? Some snippets of JavaScript. And you can see that the work that they do is amazing, but this is going to take a little longer. And when I say a little longer, it may take a few weeks or even a month to create a website just like this, right? But as I was mentioning, you're not going to use almost any code or maybe very few coding. You just copy paste some code, but you're going to get a very, very unique and different website with very nice graphics. I have shown you some examples of static websites and dynamic websites. Let's go to applications. Now you need to build something that is not just interactive with the user, but actually you need some logics and some integrations, some very complex integrations with it, right? So let's see some examples. So this, for example, was built with using Glide apps, right? It's a very simple tool where people could upload their recipes, and they could even have a list of their favorite recipes that are on the app, right? So people can actually see, maybe you can post a video, you can see who added it, you can have categories, and you can even see the users that are on the app, right? And you can even edit those that you see there, or you can add your own recipes, right? So it's a very simple app that can be built in just a few minutes or even hours if you want something a bit more complex and that looks a little nicer. So this is another example, also using Glide apps, of another app. So if you saw one of our previous videos, we showed how to create one of these apps. And this is one of my favorites because this person just wanted to have like a list of all the best places for hiking in a specific area, right? So here is in the US. People could go there and see like what are the parking options, where to eat around them, the parking. So just as we saw on websites, we have something very similar on applications. So when you need more flexibility, when you need more integrations or something a bit more complex, you can use a tool like Bubble, right? So in this case, you can have a whole new application. So for example, this is just like a clone of a product hunt where people can add their new products. The people can start upvoting, downvoting. So you can see that people can even create new records in a very nice way, and people can leave comments on each one of those, right? So you start seeing that these are apps that are a bit more complex, and you can have a lot of flexibility and tailor it more to what you really need for your users and customers. Now you start seeing here the downside I was mentioning before. To build those logics is not that simple. You have to go through a lot of configurations, and you're going to have a bigger, longer learning curve, right? You're going to have to really tailor with it and tinker with it. You're going to have to go and work with it and build maybe some prototypes before you start building your own, right? You to really learn how to use them, right? So it's not so easy to use them and to get started with them, but the power they have is amazing. You can even create a clone of Instagram or Facebook or something very similar, or even something better using these tools. Okay, now let's go to the next category. Here, the toolbox that we can have, the front-end tools and the back-end tools. We're gonna see some examples of those. So first of all, the front-end tools. So here, I'm showing you Canva. Maybe you have used it. And this is an amazing tool because it can help you adapt and design the images and visuals that you need for your website. So just as an example, this is the one that we use for our website. And here you see the final result that was built on Webflow. This is our website, the NetMinds website. But what we do is what we use Canva to design the visual that it was going to go here. And then we put it on Webflow to put it with the rest, right? So you can see that these are tools that leverage on the tool that you already have, and it's going to make the experience even better. Another example that I wanted to show you from our website is these icons that you see here. So something similar we did here with Canva. I'm going to show you how we did it. So we first went to Canva to design and take those icons that we wanted to use on our website. And then we get it from there and we put them together on Webflow. And this is the end result. The same with every visual that you see here was first created on Canva and then put in here. So here are other resources that you can use to, for example, take some images or even videos that you need for your website. Right? So here you can find a large amount of free pictures and images that you can use for your website, or they can come very cheap, right? You see something that is really nice and perfect for your scenario. You can have some examples of tools that can help you create a better user experience. And one of them is SendGrid, specifically for communications. When you want to communicate with your users with emails, like with a newsletter or a marketing campaign, you can go here, find templates, and even automate the way those emails go to your customers, and even keep track on how they are interacting with those emails, right? So then you have tools like Airtable. This is a mixed one between a front-end tool and a back-end tool. The front-end, because it can help you create some nice forms that you could even embed in the website that you already have. But also this is an amazing backend tool. And if you saw one of our previous videos, when we create a whole CRM just using Airtable, you're gonna see that it's very nice to handle and automate the way you use your information. Right. So it's an amazing asset to add to another no-code tool that you might be using for your front end and for your user experience. So then you have other backend tools that are integration tools. So this one is Integromat. This is just an example. It's a very visual tool to even help you integrate no-code tools with other tools that are not necessarily no-code. So for example, you could connect Twitter with Slack and Google Sheets. So this specific integration that I'm showing here is that every time a data tweet is created with certain characteristics, it sends you a message on Slack, maybe if you want to respond to them, and even adds them to a database in Google Sheets if you want to keep track of those type of messages. So this is just another example on how you can integrate no-code tools with other different tools. So in this case, we had a form on Airtable, and every time a new record was created, we sent a message to the person, like thanking them for sending the form. We created an event because this was a registration form for an event. And then we had an internal Slack message for the team. So we knew that someone new was coming to the event, but we also was sending an SMS message to the number of the person as a reminder of that event. So you can even see all those triggers and events that you can go from just a form or a specific event, and then create a whole set of actions and activities that you can have integrating all these tools. And finally, we have the ones on the bottom, the specialized tools. So before we go into that, I want to show you a very cool website that has like a list and an inventory of, I mean, not every no-code tool that is out there, but it's a very comprehensive list that's going to help you even find the right tool to use. So this is the website. It's called nocodelist.co, and you can see a lot of categories. You have CRM, communities, you can even you have games, Internet of Things, job boards, landing pages. So you see that you have like specific tools for every specific scenario. So this is a great way to get started with it, because maybe you can find a specific solution for your problem, and with tools that already have the template already made for you for that solution. So just to show you a couple of examples of those specialized tools that I was talking about. So this is one that is called Circle. So Circle is a tool to create communities. You can create forums and people can even interact and chat with each other. So this that you see here is a very specific template that they have. It's very similar. When you go to a Circle community, you're gonna feel familiar with it, right? But it's very powerful in that if you want to get started with that community right away, you can just use the template that Circle has, right? And you can even have people interacting with the information that you have there, with upvotes, with comments on each one of those, and even with a login and registration form. And finally, you have stuff like this, like you want to have a chatbot embedded on your website. You can just go to this one, Landbot, and you can start creating a chat just like this that has a set of options, and people can just interact with that chat. It will make the user experience look much better. So if you have maybe a set of questions or frequently asked questions from your consumers, you can use this type of tools to embed it. And it's very simple and very easy to embed it. For example, if you're using UMSO or if you're using Webflow, it's very simple to implement this type of snippets inside of your website or application. And well, that's it for today. Now, I want to clarify. There are 100 of other tools out there that the ones that I showed you. There are some alternatives to the one that we went through, and others for very specific functionalities. The idea here in this video is just to give you some awareness of the landscape so you can navigate it easily. But please, if you have any questions about whether you can do something with no code, or if you're having doubts about which specific tool to use, just let me know and I will be pleasant to help you. Thank you so much for watching us, and please follow us on YouTube and go to our social media pages on LinkedIn and Twitter. Thank you so much, and see you next time.